undefeated welterweight champion Errol Spence Jr. versus Danny Garcia, December 5th. I will never back down.
Welcome back to the Adrian Flux Arena here in Kings Lynn. Conditions steadily worsening, sadly, here at this final round of the chase for the Rainbow Roof for Brisca Formula One stock cars. It certainly takes more than a bit of rain to stop the action. The driver's determined to put on a show for the fans. We're going to take a quick break from the Brisca F1 action and take a look at the national mini stocks, getting ready for the final 5 laps of their final for the Kings Lynn Open Championship. 290, Charlie Tomlin leading as they get underway. The rain has well and truly set in. You have to feel sorry for the national mini stocks this year, these young racers. I don't think they've had a single dry meeting all season. So Tomlin leads the way from Tom Dunn in 171 in second. It's Jolan Maynard, number 51, in third. 3 heats earlier on. There was a win for the new gold top, Jack Witts, number 180. Leading getting a bit sideways there. Also Tilly Partridge, number 233, well done to her, took a win in her heats, and also a first ever win for 55, Lily Finnekin, daughter of Craig, so congratulations to her on her maiden victory. Jolan Maynard, number 51, the former Ninja Kart star, moving up to attack the 2 leaders here. Follows Tom Dunn wide, but he can't dislodge 290 Charlie Tomlin. His dad, Craig Tomlin, used to race Brisca F2 stock cars a few years ago. Jolan Maynard up into second place. Most of the Maynard family have raced stock cars over the years. We see Sophie Maynard, of course, in the V8 Hot Stocks. Dylan Williams Maynard in Brisca F1 a few years ago. Andy Maynard and Gary as well. One of those families where seemingly no member of the family doesn't race. Charlie Tomlin out in front, then he does like his shale racing. He's heading for the Kings Lynn Open Championship here. There's not many cars left running, a lot of retirements. It was Tilly Partridge who led the early going in this one, but she's dropped back into the midfield. She's had a great night. Her brother Toby also up there among the front runners. Car pulling off in the background. It's impossible to see who it is though. A couple of laps to go then for Charlie Tomlin. Can Jolan Maynard, Bug as he's known to his friends, catch him here? It's between these two now. Jack Witts, the new gold top, out of the race in the early stages in this one. There's not many cars going to make the line in this Kings Lynn Open. These young racers giving it their all under 16 years of age, some as young as 11. 2 leaders well clear. It's still Tom Dunn, number 171, in third place. Down the back straight they go for the final time. I don't think Jolan Maynard is going to be able to attack here. He won't get close enough on the final turn. It's going to be Charlie Tomlin. There's the checkered flag. He wins the Kings Lynn Open for the national mini stocks. Jolan Maynard coming over in second. It's Tom Dunn in third, and a little left behind them. How can these drivers even see where they're going? Never mind race in these conditions. Just look at the rain coming down. Well, these young racers certainly mastered it there. The win going to Charlie Tomlin ahead of Jolan Maynard by less than a second. Tom Dunn further back, and then a long way back in fourth was Toby Partridge ahead of Tom Andrew. Good drives by them. Tilly Partridge in sixth ahead of Lucas Hansen. And then a lap down, Caden Morrison, Jake Woodhull and Ollie Armstrong, and they were the only finishers. Well, moving back to the Brisca Formula One stock cars, they're in an absolute monsoon here at the Adrian Flux Arena. Well, any driver who's raced at Skegness or Buxton this season will probably have an advantage here because it's chucked it down at every meeting held at those. 26 cars on the grid for this meeting final then. The earlier heats, of course, won by Anthony Lee, Ricky Wilson and by Tom Harris, the world champion. We ride with Sam Makin, the Blue Grader, car number 93. Oh, it looks like he's pulling off. lost one of our camera cars already. That's a good start. All the leading names out there looking to top the points table ahead of the final of the Chase for the Rainbow Roof, which is scheduled for here at the Adrian Flux Arena. Darren Clark and Ant Lee, the two white graders, lead them off. Then we get underway over 20 laps. Final time for the Brisca F1s. 31 Timmy Barnes from Saloon Stock Car Racing gets underway in front of the yellow top. Somebody hitting the wall there already. Terry Hawkins in 275 getting taken out there as well. Cars all over the place in the early stages looking for grip. We're on board with Charlie Sauder in car number 5. This is just looking backwards. He's been spun out there in a tangle with one of the yellow tops. I think that might have been Nigel Harry. And this is just looking backwards from Sauder Senior's car, Mick Sauder. Imagine what it's like looking forwards. He's got Craig Finnegan behind him. Wallop in goes the bumper, but Finnegan just spins himself there. I think he hit the back of a car that had already gone off there on the inside. Frankie JJ getting involved as well, battling with Sauder there around turns 3 and 4. Through goes Little Ted, as he's known, number 555. Your early leader is Ant Lee, I can tell you at the moment, in 339. So he's got the early lead, looking for his first ever final victory. Plenty of push and shove. The drivers trying to race as best they can. Tom Harris going through there. Full credit to not only the drivers, but the marshals, the officials, the mechanics, the fans as well. And to our camera crews for braving the weather. Just look at it out there. You can hardly see the track, never mind who's racing on it. Somebody off there, Lee Pierce, Nigel Harry and Charlie Sauder all facing the wrong way. It's Ant Lee, number 339, who has got the lead. Mick Sauder attacking, Mr. Box Office as he's known. The back of the 515 there of Junior Wainman. 31 of Timmy Barnes getting involved in that battle as well. He used to go in the opposite way round in his Saloon stock car. One of a few drivers to have moved up from Saloons this season. Darren Clark, we saw in the foreground there, has spun. Somebody pulling in there, that's Lee Pierce pulling in. Used to racing on the circuits these days, been competing in the Mini Challenge, supporting British touring cars at times this season. On board with the world champion, Tom Harris. Bangs, clatters, wheel bangs his way round. There's our leader, 339. He's in the monsoon there somewhere, Anthony Lee. Can he take his first ever final win? Are we going to have a white grade winner here at the Adrian Flux Arena? Tricky to tell who's behind him. Russell Cooper's in there, Luke Dennis as well. Ricky Wilson, our earlier heat winner. They're just trying to keep going in a straight line there down the back straight. It's near impossible. Mark Sargent moving through in the 326. He needs a good finish here. Try and keep that points lead ahead of the likes of Junior Wainman and Jake Harry. They're the points leaders, of course, the grade multiplier system being used to determine who's going to be top of the chase for the Rainbow Roof after the points championship concludes tonight. They line them up in points order, closed grid for the big one. We'll win that Rainbow Roof, raising money for NHS charities. Going towards half distance here at the Adrian Flux Arena. There's the leader, he's in there somewhere, chasing the recovered Charlie Sauder in number 5. This is a good drive by Ant Lee. He's keeping his nose clean as best he can. We've got a car off on the outside of turn 3. Board with Charlie Sauder in the number 5. Stator, but that's just the inside of his car. He's covered in mud. Clearly can't see anything, and he's been spun out there by somebody. Into the marker tyres he goes. Timmy Barnes hitching a ride on the side of, who's that? Ricky Wilson. Ricky signals to him, get off there as they go down the back straight. And he gets a wallop in turn as well from, who was that? Might have been Nigel Harry, I can't tell. Possible to see the numbers on these cars now, most of them. What we do know is that Ant Lee is still leading. There's little Ted Wainman, he's going well now. His previous final win in his career was 2 years ago in near identical conditions to this at Bellevue in Manchester. He is a bit of a rainmaster, is little Ted. Chased there by Ricky Wilson, and they avoid a spun car there in the middle of the turn. Ricky had to throw some lock on. There's not who spun out it, the blue top, I can tell you that. Still a white top out in front. Ant Lee in 339. And a couple of wins at Kings Lynn, including tonight's. Michael Scriven, the man who'd spun out there on turns 3 and 4, the number 12. Like hailstones coming down now, you can see in the floodlights there rather than raindrops. And somehow they are keeping going. On a personal note, in rain like this, I would struggle to drive a road car, never mind a Brisca F1 on shape. Very brave drivers out there. I've seen them racing far worse than this in the past, so full credit to them. And they're certainly not just going through the motions either, they are doing their best to put on a show and race for points here. Mal Brown there attacking Terry Hawkins in the 275 car. Mick Sauder under fire. Somebody, we can't see who it is, and Mick spun around there and he spun on his own backwards into the wall. Mal Brown still attacking Hawkins. Charlie Sauder's car stranded there in the tyres on the inside. Junior Wainman under fire from the 31 of Timmy Barnes. I think it's still Antley up front. Yes, there he is. Mick Sauder has caught him. In fact, I think Antley might have fallen back. Yes, he's behind Mal Brown there. We're just trying to work out who the leader is. It's not the 31 car. He's gone for a spin there. Is Antley still in the lead? It's hard to make out here. Mick Sauder gets the bumper in, trying to attack him there. This could be for the lead here, it's tricky to tell. Side by side over the line. Mick Sauder up the inside, he's going through. Mark Sargent's in behind them, Mal Brown as well. We've got a stranded car there, spun on the turn in a cloud of steam, so that's going to cause them to scatter. Who's going to come through into the lead here? I think Antley has now lost the lead. It's hard to tell. I think Sauder was a lap down, so it could be Mark Sargent leading now. Yes, I think it might be Mark Sargent with the lead now in 3.26 as they come round to complete lap 17. Yeah, Sargent shown as the leader on the timing as they came through. Apologies for the confusion there. So it looks like the points leader, the East Coast legend as he's known, is now up front. Sorry for the momentary confusion there. It is 3.26 Mark Sargent who leads the way, ahead of Antley in 3.39, who's now starting to drop back down the order. Try and establish the order in a moment, but hang on, the yellow flags are coming out. The yellow flags are out. Not too clear why. Could be something to do with this great cloud of steam we can see there in the background. A spinning car, that's Willie Scoyles Jr., I think. That's why the yellows came out. So it is Mark Sargent in the lead. Back markers have been removed, as is the rule this season, so Sargent with the lead. We'll establish the rest of the order as they come round towards us. Just a couple of laps to go now. It is still Antley there in second. It's little Ted Wainman in third, then Ricky Wilson, Tom Harris, and I think Junior Wainman is behind them in 5.15. Still plenty could happen here over these last couple of laps. It's a sprint to the line. Here we go. Antley with a good restart there up the inside. Mark Sargent gets his foot down. Little Ted Wainman ready to attack. Oh, Lee's hit the marker tyre on the inside. That's going to cause a scatter. Tom Harris goes through the middle. Ricky Wilson's gone out wide. Junior Wainman, I think, got through there on the inside in 5.15. It is still Sargent that leads. Now Little Ted gets the bumper in, and wallop straight in goes Mark Sargent. 5.55. Little Ted Wainman has the lead. Tom Harris is up into second place. It looks like Junior Wainman is through to third. Mick Sauder further back, battling it out. He takes a hit from Mal Brown. He goes off onto the centre, I think, as well. The battle is on for the lead. The two leads have got clear. Oh, and behind there's a tangle there. That's Junior Wainman and Mark Sargent have tangled together. Well, what's happened there? They got together coming off the turn. That's the 2 points protagonists fighting it out. We go into the last lap, and it's little Ted Wainman from Tom Harris. They've been able to pull away as a result of that, coming off turn 2. And the leader under fire here, and certainly, well, on fire, is Mark Sargent. Look at that in the middle of the back straight. They're coming round into the last bend. Here comes Tom Harris, gets the bumper in, wallop, in we go on the final turn. They both go out into the wall, but the red flags have come out. The red flags are out because of the fire. They're not going to make it as far as the line. What happens now? Everybody stops. The reds are out because Mark Sargent's car is on fire. The marshals deal with that. That finish there was like something from a film. They were all ready to take the checkered flag and they didn't get that far because the reds came out. Tom Harris just sitting there thinking, well, what do we do now? Is there anybody left running? Everybody else had stopped. These two were going for the last bit. And there we see Mark Sargent's car in flames. And then Tom Harris lines up little Ted Wainman. In goes the bumper, flicks him round. Harris took himself out into the wall as well. And then they didn't get a chance to fire up again because the red lights were on. What a baffling finish. Have we finished? It looked like it was going to be Terry Hawkins who came through there. Okay, it's a one-lap restart, a shootout for the win. This is extraordinary. Well, Mark Sargent, who was leading, he had some sort of a tangle there with Junior Wainman, which took him out. Then his car caught a light. Mark is okay, fortunately. Terry Hawkins was in fact a back marker. I think it's Mal Brown in third place. Yes, he is. I do apologise, I'm struggling to keep track of who's on the lead lap here. So it's little Ted Wainman from Tom Harris, Mal Brown in third. Here they come then. One lap to go, the green flag is in the air. There's Junior Wainman, mixed order. Luke Dennis is still going in the 192. Away they go. Not the best of restarts for Tom Harris there, as around the outside goes Junior Wainman up into second. Or is that a ploy by Tom to try and attack the 515? No, Mal Brown's got through there as well into the final turn, I think. Yes, here comes Harris on the back of Junior Wainman. He is going to attack him on the final turn. That's let treble 5 get clear. He's going to take the win. They don't seem to want to finish behind him. Look at this, it's going to be a Wainman 1-2. They're over the line. Well, Tom Harris delayed himself there with that attack on Junior Wainman. What a crazy finish. What we do know is that Frankie Wainman Jr., aka Little Ted, has won it. That's his second final win of his career. I think 515 came in second. Yes, he has. It's a Wainman 1-2. Mal Brown got third ahead of Mixed Order. Where did they come from? Tom Harris dropped to fifth on the run to the line. Terry Hawkins in sixth. Then Michael Scriven ahead of Luke Dennis, Russell Cooper and Kyle Gray. Timmy Barnes was the only other finisher to an extraordinary race.
Final winner, 555 Frankie JJ. Your second final on Wet Shale.
Yeah, it is. I think it suits me. It's quite funny actually. Both times I've won a final, I've had no goggles on and I could barely see. So I might just race without goggles from now on.
Yeah, just looking at you now, your eyes do look like they're a little bit sore.
Yeah, they're feeling it now, but just get on with it.
And you'll be happy to get a final win as well. There was a lot of reds in that. It was an exciting race as well.
Yeah, it was very exciting. I managed to get a good start, and then I did go out to the wall once or twice, and Mixed Order come past, but I managed to get back past, and well, kept on going. To be fair, I was really lucky because I'd messed this bend up, second to last bend, and Tom caught me, and he got me last bend. It was a beauty of a shot, and he'd won it basically. But then they brought the reds out, so I've never been more happy to see the red flags.
Yeah, that was the last bender that never was.
Oh yeah, I felt sorry for Tom, to be honest, because he'd had that wrapped up. But you win some, you lose some, don't you?
Well, now you need to get yourself cleaned up, ready for the Grand National.
Yeah, get in the Grand National and see if I can score some points. I play my Joker tonight, and when we started from lap handicap, it's on quadruple points, so I'll see how I get on.
Well, best of luck.
Thank you very much.
Well, little Ted Wainman looked like he'd been bog snorkeling during that interview, didn't he? He's been back out though. He's cleaned himself up and he's on the lap handicap ready for the Grand National. A slightly lower field of 19 cars out there this time. Richard Dickerson on the front row alongside Keith Pearce in the 58s. There's Junior Wainman and Tom Harris on the back row of the grid. They're going to resume their rivalry. This is going to be an interesting one, to say the least. Are we going to get any finishers here? We only got 11 finishers out of 26 in the final. 19 cars out there this time. We can just about still see the action through our cameras. Again, full credit to our camera crews braving the weather. To all the marshals, well, couldn't go racing without the marshals and other officials, the recovery crews, medics and so on. The hardy fans braving the weather here at the Adrian Flux Arena, and the drivers ready to put on a show one last time for them this evening. It's be 16 laps, the all-comers Grand National. A lot of yellow graders out there, and here we go. Green goes down and we're underway. Down towards the first turn they go. Treble 5 in pursuit of the rest of the field. Richard Dickerson spins straight away as they go. Oh, they're all going off on the outside. Now who's come out of that with the lead, because the first three rows have just disappeared off into the wall. Michael Scriven's in there, Nigel Harry's in there. I think it's Mark Sargent who's come out of that with the lead. He did get his car back out after that fire. Jake Harry meanwhile tangles with Luke Dennis and a couple of others. It's Mark Sargent, I can tell you, leading the way. We didn't see him really come through there. On board with Tom Harris. I think he'd be doing better just to mount one of our onboard cameras facing forward and use it like a sat-nav to see where he's going. Tangling with somebody there. That's Nigel Harry off to the inside again. And it really is getting impossible out there now. Somehow managing to plough their way on. There goes Tom Harris. There is Junior Wayman giving chase to him in the 515. And taking a 1-2 behind his son in the final. Harris was the last Skegness meeting, of course, rather put out of the limelight by his sister Catherine, having a guest drive in his tarmac car. Tom was out in the shale car on the tarmac. But he seems to have allayed his Kings Lynn curse tonight, where he was rather jinxed at the end of the final, albeit by the red flags and by a fire in Mark Sargent's engine. Mark has repaired the car. He is out there and he's leading this race. He's in there somewhere. We just got a glimpse of him just about there. Station the yellow flags out. There is Sargent. I think that's the 555 car behind him, so he's got ahead of the man off the lap handicap. There's Richard Dickerson about to go a lap down in 4.43. We saw him spin at the start of the race. Slip and slide their way round. Nigel Harry's going again in the 45. How are they able to keep going in these conditions? I do not know. Conditions more suitable for Land Rovers than stock cars. In goes the bumper on a back marker. That's Nigel Harry again. Spins out and collides with Keith Pearce. There's the leader getting him out of his way there. Mark Sargent doesn't want to be held up. He wants to make up for non-finishing the final. The caution's coming out again. Caution coming out, I think, because of those two cars stranded on turn 1. See, the track is almost underwater now here. We'll see what happened. Mark Sargent was being held up behind Nigel Harry in the 45. Into turn 1, he said, out of my way. Spun him around and walloped backwards into Keith Pearce's stationary car. So we'll get back underway then. Mark Sargent, your race leader, is in there somewhere. As we said, this is just looking backwards. 10 times as bad for Mark, trying to see where he's going. I mean, we saw little Ted Wainman in the pits after his final win, not wearing goggles, because it's impossible to see with goggles on, and you just have to put up with the mud flying into your eyes. I think that's Tom Harris in second place, and behind him is Josh Smith in the 191. Beyond that, I can't tell who's who. I do apologise. I think that's Junior Wayman in 5th place. No idea who it is in 4th. Mal Brown's still going. We can see the smaller wing on his 34 car. There's not many cars left, as you can see, but plenty of laps. So not up to half distance yet in this Grand National. Off they go. Josh Smith quickly gets elbowed out onto the wide line into the deep mud there, as Mark Sargent leads them off. Wide though into the first turn. Up the inside there goes Tom Harris. Car number 1 takes the lead. So Harris takes the lead. Mark Sargent will want to fight back though as they go down the back straight. Sargent up the inside. He gets the bumper in. He's going to retake the lead. He sent Harris out wide into the deeper mud. That's going to allow a couple more cars through as well. More cars tangling up on the outside. Russell Cooper, I think, is one of them. Terry Hawkins is in there as well. I think that was possibly Charlie Sauder involved there as well. I can't tell. Okay, so Mark Sargent back in the lead then. There he is, ahead of, in second place now, Junior Wayman. Tom Harris is in third. Oh, Sargent's gone out wide. He did that on his own. Oh, I think he's going for revenge on Junior Wayman for their tangle in the final. Watch this as they come down to turn 3. He's picked him up. Here we go, out wide, and wallop straight in. That's 1-all, says Mark Sargent. That's for taking me out of the final. Bit of controversy creeping into things. Well, with pole position for the chase for the Rainbow Roof finale on the line, we thought something might kick off. They tangled towards the end of the final, and Sargent gets his revenge. Meantime, that's allowed Tom Harris to get clear into the lead. I'm not sure if those two are still going. Well, Wayman is, but he's lost a rear tyre. A puncture there from where he hit the fence. He spins out in the 515 car. Oh, goodness me. Somehow they're trying their best to keep going. Is Sargent still running? I think he is. Well, there goes Tom Harris. I think, anyway. He's got the lead of this. He's heading for his second win of the night. It's coming up to lap. I can't, pretty much unidentifiable there. Possibly one of the blue graders. He's trying their best now to keep going and at least get to the finish of this race. Junior Wayman trying to get going again. He's on 3 wheels pretty much. 5 more laps to go for Tom Harris. Because Mike racing in the wet, he's performed strongly on tracks similar to this in the past. He's also raced, of course, in the USA in sprint cars, the first British driver to compete at the Knoxville Nationals, the showpiece sprint car event in America. And Mark Sargent in a tangle there, that was with one of his fellow yellows. Stuck there on the outside. We'll try and identify who that was. I can't see at the moment. Sargent gets going again. Not many laps to go now, though, for Tom Harris. He's away and gone in front. As for second place, I will freely admit I've no idea. Because you just cannot tell these cars apart. Looks like Nigel Harry's still going in the 45, possibly, or it could be 415. I could see just on the back panel of that car, it could be Russell Cooper. See as they come round this time. Yes, it is Russell Cooper, 415 there, being lapped by the race leader. Visibly quicker than everybody else here. Terry Hawkins still going in the 275. He's had a decent evening. 6th place in the final, now 6th in the Grand National, or he could better that. Might even be up a little higher than that, in fact. It's hard to follow here. Just a couple of laps to go then. Harris is going to take the win. To the point where are Junior Wayman and Mark Sargent going to finish in relation to their points standings. We'll see at the end of the programme who has topped the points, of course, as we go into the last lap of the evening. Tom Harris was in with an outside chance as well. Mark Sargent is still going. Junior Wayman is trying to keep going, but he has lost a tyre, of course, when he was taken into the fence. Okay, they're coming round towards the checkered flag now then. We're on the final lap and it is going to be a win for Tom Harris. Takes the flag. His car's going everywhere on the final turn. They're just trying to make it across the line. There is Junior Wayman. He is going to make it home. He's on 3 wheels, well, 3 tyres, but he does make it across the line, albeit several laps down. The car's going everywhere on the final turn there. See how many cars have made it home in just a moment. It's not many. But the win has gone to Tom Harris. I can tell you that. 2 wins for him tonight. The Kings Lynn curse has been extinguished. Reds come out on a chaotic Grand National. Harris the winner ahead of Michael Scriven and Mel Brown. 7 seconds the winning margin in the end, and little Ted Wayman 4th from the lap handicap. That's a great effort. Everybody else a lap down. Russell Cooper 5th ahead of Terry Hawkins. Mark Sargent makes it home in 7th, and Junior Wayman 10th, and the final finisher behind debutant Lee Pearce and Josh Smith.
Well, we said it was rare earlier on to have a Shale win, but now you've just won the Grand National as well.
Yeah, I'm a bit annoyed about the final, really. JJ drove a fantastic race, and to be fair, he deserved to win, but I got him on the last corner, and then they redded it as I was, bounced off the fence and just to go over the line, and they took. And then on the restart, car cut out and it wouldn't start. So luckily, someone pushed me down the straight. They managed to bunt start by the end of the straight, but yeah, a bit frustrated with that. It'd be nice to get a final, on Shale this year. But no, the Grand National, the track was horrendous, really, and tricky conditions. But yeah, the car was good.
Yeah, it certainly was a touch moist, and you might not have seen much of it. You were causing some of it, but there was stuff going on everywhere in that.
It's one of them races, isn't it? It's you get one wheel on that line, and you're in the wall. So got to drive your head, and keep it nice and tight, and slow and steady, really.
And of course, your points haul now tonight, it makes that grid for the Rainbow Roof final. That's going to be a tasty little grid, that.
Yeah, that's right. I think it'll be. It's good to have some lower graders up there. It's good to have Sarge up there and to be in the mix with it all. So. Yeah, let's just see how it pans out. I don't know if it's the final or if it's a heat or what it is. I'm not quite 100% sure, but let's just hope it's a good race for the fans and a good hard stock car race.
and hopefully we'll have all dried out by then.
Yeah, let's hope so. Let's hope it's not raining next time.
Well, thank you very much, Tom.
Thanks a lot. Cheers.
Let's have a look at the points then. Who has come in top? And Junior Wayman has done it. His results tonight enough to haul him above Mark Sargent's. He tops the points in the chase for the Rainbow Roof after 9 rounds. Tom Harris's results tonight move him to 3rd, ahead of the absent Lee Fairhurst. Jake Harry in 5th, ahead of Craig Finnikin. A quiet night for him. Then Matt Newson, Paul Hines, Russell Cooper, and the absent tonight Tyrone Evans round out the top 10 ahead of the finale. Well, that just about wraps things up for tonight then. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and well done to everybody for battling on in the increasingly worse conditions here at the Adrian Flux Arena in Kings Lynn tonight. There'll be more stock car racing coming up on our coverage very soon, but for now, thanks for watching and goodbye.